very cool. I see mine. The old building, 15, 20 years ago. These were all found. Yeah. So what today that's my great start. But as let's see. We're back in. I think living in community in the U.S. And mute your mic. Austin Rose. Rose Martin. Somebody and also somebody. They don't have equity. Some sort of. Teach sales make sure. Or start and so wire brush.
So it's not.
So we based on your business, we
Throw in
We are live and kicking.
Good morning. One million cups. All right, welcome back. We are back at the library, the Richland County Library, downtown Columbia on Assembly. I think they call it Richland, Maine. We are back here. We're excited to definitely be here. We have some air conditioning, and the library has a lot of great resources for entrepreneurs, so please stick around afterwards and check out everything they have. Today, we actually have a great presenter, Jeff. He's actually one of our co-organizers. But before we get to that, we do need to recognize our sponsors and tell you a little bit more about 1 Million Cups. All right, so for you that are new here, 1 Million Cups, really it's an entrepreneurial community. It's about entrepreneurs growing other entrepreneurs. And so we want you to come here, bring your friends. If you've been in business for a long time, we need your wisdom. We need you to be here to help others grow. If you're just thinking about becoming an entrepreneur and you want to start your own business, you need to be here too. And we couldn't do it without our wonderful sponsors. We have the City of Columbia Economic Development Department, MSP Disposal, the City of Columbia, Lamar Signs, Genius Repair Solutions, IDS, Cinematic Aerials, Network in Action, Azalea Coffee Bar, the Richland County Library, and Wood Forest National Bank. And so we would like for you to apply. We want you to come present your business. Come join us. Go to 1millioncups.com/present. All right. And here is our new presenter for today. Come on down, Jeff.
Who's the old guy in the picture?
I think that's
Jeff.
Jeff is some awesome new technology that he invented.
I'll be going off of this. I may be going to hide. The good news is Facebook, you guys are going to be lab rats this morning, so you didn't know that when you got up. So this should be kind of cool. So we are going out live with what well, can't see it through the reading glasses that way. So let me get over here. Okay. I have titled my talk today, Cloud Screen, A Tale of SaaS and Disruption. Now, in this modern time, SaaS doesn't mean, SaaS and disruption, if I went back to when I was in elementary school, that would have meant I had to stay in for recess and write a bunch of times for not behaving myself. But in the world of modern technologies, software as a service is a cool thing, and being disruptive is a cool thing because you get to, if you can come up with a technology that can change the game for everybody, then you've disrupted stuff and it's a good way. And you people on Facebook, there's a link on there that if you click on it, and I'm particularly interested to hear if it works on iPhones. Let me say.
Would you like us to try to participate as well?
I would love for you to participate. Everybody go to the Facebook group. And there's a link there that you click that link. It may not open in your browser. You may, or it may not open in Facebook. It probably won't on your phone, but you could, in the more options, you can go down and open it in a browser. The video password is 2022. And let's see, why is that not up there? Let's see. Okay, there's me. Wait a minute, let me jump out of that. Trying to figure out how to get it on here. Okay, I'm gonna kill that. Now, okay. If you get on the link, you should see something that looks like that. I was able to get on it with my iPhone or my Android. Now you people with iPhones, that'll be the one I want to see because iOS is evil. I just want to get to the point that I can buy it because it's not a good thing. And I'm actually teasing. So I'm just going to lay that down so it will look at the sky. So you people that are on Facebook, if you get this link open, you can actually follow along with my slides, which is something kind of cool. You're not just at the mercy of trying to read them over the shoulder when the camera does weird things to it. So I'm going to go to the second slide here. I will advance them on my end. You'll have to advance them on your end. We don't quite have the software developed to the point that if I move it, it'll move for you, but we're headed there. Like I said, SaaS is software as a service. That means it's a subscription-based software product, and I like to call that mailbox money, which is a good thing. If you develop something that's disruptive that can help in one vertical market, you've done a good thing and you'll make some money. Cool thing about Cloud Screen is I believe it can help in every market, which can be a game changer all the way around the world. And I'll give all the credit to God because it's his idea. He just turned me loose to do something with it. And it's our product, patent pending, and the people that I do it for are in that picture. My lovely wife, Sherry, our special needs son, Jason, and our rescue dog that I named Pixel. Everybody needs a Pixel. He runs the household. Cloud Screen, it's really not like any software package out there. If you're familiar with digital signage, it's kind of like digital signage, but digital signage, they got it out here where it's running some information on TVs, but imagine being able to wrap a web page around that you can give people a link to and they can go to it on any device. It works on all things. iOS is the most unfriendly thing, but it does work on iOS. You got to be updated to the latest version of iOS to make it work. Something that is super duper cool about it, and I'll show you a real quick demo of that in a little bit, you can actually update the page layout and content real time while you're talking to people, which is real slick. Somebody evidently is on there. Is that me? Somebody's on there and we're looking at the ceiling. That might be my phone. Oh, no, that's you, right?
That's me, I couldn't turn off my camera.
Oh, okay. It's hard to see in that little window. I've kind of got it laid out for a computer view so you can see a lot of stuff at one time. But here, what we've got, think about this for a minute. Everybody's been doing Zoom since the world ended. And you've got two choices. You're either talking to each other or you're sharing the screen. Talk, share screen, talk, share screen. Hope you can stay awake till the end of the meeting. The cool thing about Cloud Screen is you can talk to each other, but you can interact with the content on the page. And when you think about the possibilities, you're sending people stuff to collaborate on, look at, etc. They can interact with it while you're talking, which is kind of cool. And again, I said it's going to update. It's patent pending toward the end of the year. I'm going to be filing a patent application for this so I can get a big boy patent. And I'm sure I will be leaning on my buddy Adrian about that. So why would you use this? Why does the world need one more application? Well, you know, think about what you do every day. You got Zoom, you got a browser open, you got spreadsheets open, you got a whole pile of stuff open on your computer. It looks like that's your brain on Zoom on the left there. You got stuff all over the desktop and you're trying to figure out where it's at and stay organized and all of that. Cloud Screen lets you put it together in one organized page where you can have videos, you can have web pages, you can have slideshows, you can have forms to fill out, you can have a lot of stuff on the page. Types of content, a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, I've hit some of them. I mean, you can put a lot of stuff together on a page, change it as you want to, which is kind of cool. I call this true interactive video conferencing because, again, with Zoom, WebEx, GoToMeeting, pick any of them, you're talking to each other, you're sharing stuff, you're talking to each other, you're sharing stuff. Cloud Screen lets you interact with it. One thing that is super duper cool, Cloud Screen by itself is amazing. But there's an application out there called Restream.io that has nothing to do with Cloud Screen. And if you get nothing else out of the day but Restream.io, check it out. If you're doing anything on Facebook or YouTube or Instagram or any of those social media things, and I am one of the worst about not doing this stuff, not updating, etc., what Restream lets you do is with one live video going out, it will simulcast to every one of your social media platforms up to 10 at the same time. So you can have this one video going out, shotgun it out to everything that you've got a following on that allows live video and be a lot of places at one time, which is kind of cool. One thing that's really slick, and that's how we're going out live through Facebook today, is through Restream. I've got it going through the 1 Million Cups Facebook page, I've got it going through my Facebook page, and I've got it going through my YouTube page at the same time. So I've got Cloud Screen opened up on this page we're looking at. I've got Restream on going live, so I have the ability to put things in a lot of places, and the link in the description allows people to go to this page. Because one thing that's happening to people on a lot of social media platforms, got a friend who has a shooting range weapons business. If she posts pictures and uses the wrong word, Facebook takes them down. If you have a video going out and you say the wrong thing, the robots take you down. The nice thing about going to Cloud Screen is it's an open mic platform that Facebook can't take you down, LinkedIn can't take you down, etc. I'm not wanting to create something that turns people loose to be Howard Stern and be crude and all of that, but I'm opening up the ability to do stuff that nobody's ever been able to do before. So you can have all of that shotgun out there bringing in people to look at this page of content where you can have whatever you want. And then you're basically using all of social media to drive traffic toward this web page, which is basically what you're supposed to be using social media for, my understanding. What we're going to be doing with subscriptions on this is selling subscriptions so you can do that. And then I'm the fat kid with the money doing things to help people. Or if it happens to be e-commerce, then we could set it up where, okay, we'll take a small percentage of what you're doing, and definitely a smaller percentage than Amazon or eBay or whoever's taking. Growth and scaling, obviously I'm an army of one. The thing we're trying to identify markets, and so far it looks like coaching, business coaching. I've been talking to Daniel about trying to do some of this stuff with his posse of people, and let's just see what they think of it. Or athletics coaching. Because right now, with all, in the world of athletics, they've got a ton of different wearable sensors, they've got YouTube, they've got highlight reels, but there's not a way to pull it all together on one page. Now there is. And if you guys know any people that are interested in doing something kind of cool on a commission basis, I would definitely like to talk to them. The scaling will be to get people to help me move subscriptions to the product and license it. And I really want to get to the point where I can do something like the Kaufmans did, or have done with this. One day, be able to have foundations to help other people do their thing. That's the end of the presentation, and I've got Cloud Screen pulled up, and I'm going to hide a couple things on the screen because I've got this presentation is done in layers. So I'm going to hide the slides. I'm going to hide that black background at the bottom. I'm going to hit the publish button. This is being done by trained professionals. Do not try this at home. Well, actually, I want you to try it at home. But what's going to happen in just a second is that's going to go away, that's going to go away, and you're going to see other stuff on the screen. The longer we stare at it, the slower it'll go. That's usually how this works. You all are allowed to laugh. I'm generally considered humorous. If you got an accent like this, it's pretty funny. It's proof there is a God and he's got a sense of humor.
There you go.
Okay, now you all didn't do anything, anybody that's on the page, but now you've got different content up there. And it's all interactive while we got the call going on. This is my website. This is me when I was 9 years old and not having a good time trying to ride a bike. So here I've got videos, here I've got our website, here I've got a slideshow, and I'm able to interact with people doing a video conference and have all this stuff on there at the same time. So you're basically looking at Cloud Screen, and this is me living happily ever after on my bike in 1968.
Is that really you?
That is really me. They were making fun of me in my defense, so that's why I was throwing rocks at them. So, all right, I've got a voice that is not meant for radio. So, but that's Cloud Screen. I think we've got a game changer, and I'm wanting to get the word out on it because I think it can help anybody. So, any questions? No money. Yes, Tom.
We got microphones. We got microphones.
We got a mic. We had a microphone waiting.
Is it on? It is on.
It is.
Okay. So as different people are looking at this, when someone interacts with it, are they interacting with it for everyone or just themselves?
Just themselves. We don't have the software quite built to the point that if I move it, it moves for everybody, but we're moving toward that. My developers have tried to explain to me what it'll take to do that, and I might as well explain it to Pixel because most of that stuff makes no sense. But we will have one day, if you're going through the slides, everybody's saying at your pace, but the beauty of it, Andrew and I have done this, if you got Google Sheets slide docs, if you're working on them independently, the changes happen in there. So you can, the great thing about it, you can put this stuff together in an organized fashion. We're going to cover this now. Now we're going to do this. Now we're going to do something else. from a training standpoint, you can make sure that people are going through it because they're not going to know how to get to the pieces that you put on this page. So they bloody well be following along and doing it while you're doing it. But good question, Jaden.
Just so everybody knows, from a disclosure standpoint, Jeff has made this presentation probably 50 times in my conference room at the airport campus, bringing clients in and doing that kind of stuff. And I've heard pieces and parts of it all along. Back in the, I want to frame it up this way. Back in the late 90s, I gave a presentation to a room full of highly technical people, and I'm not a highly technical person, in Milan, Italy, at Pirelli, where I worked. And my boss, after I finished the presentation, I walked off the platform and he said, Tom, you need to simplify your presentation. And I said, you mean dumb it down? Because I'm in a room full of engineering geniuses. And he said, no, simplify it so they will remember it. Okay? I don't understand what's going on here. I don't need to understand. But you need to put this out there in a form in which I can understand the value. You can see the value, right? There's probably a couple of other people in the room who can see the value. I can't see the value, right? So in a simple form, put somewhere in your presentation why I should be interested in the IDS product, okay? Because it's still a fog to me, and I've been with you 2 or 3 years, but it's still, I can't get through it, right? What is happening, and why is this of value to me? You can see the value, but you're not going to buy this product. I need to see the value, and it needs to be much more simple for me to understand it. Okay, you understand what I'm saying?
I totally get it, Tom, and that's why I'm looking for a posse of people to help me move it, because I want them to have the DNA of the coach that can talk the coach speak. I have a birth defect known as an engineer, and we can't put things in simple words. And on top of that, English is the second language, and I don't have a first one, so it's tough.
I'm not trying, I don't want.
No, I totally get it, brother.
Don't be offended, it's just.
No, not at all.
The average guy that's gonna buy this, if I'm the average guy that's gonna buy this, I can't see the value, it's just stuff on the screen.
Totally get it, and that's a big thing that the community can help me with this. I mean, it's like Derek Walker, I was showing it to him, I said, give me a way to say this in a few words. And he looked at it and said, oh, you can present better. I said, I'll take that.
Well, it is called the art of the infomercial, and we will coach you on that, because there is a way to turn this into 1 minute black and white. Here's how bad it was and how hard it was, and now here's this glorious new thing, and then it's clearly illustrated what the advantage really is. But you have to illustrate how bad and tough it was in the past, and then show the commercial. So there is a method to this. We'll show you.
You can do a deep dive on this and not even realize that you've gone into that depth.
Well, the problem is, I feel like the game show Jeopardy, here's the answer, now I need you all to give me the question. That's the good news is this can help with everything. The bad news is this can help with everything. And that's a mess, so I need help unmessing it. Yes, sir.
That actually looks kind of cool. That looks kind of cool. Have you determined the price point yet?
Yeah, but for a single user subscription, I've been setting it at $600 a year. So for $50 a month, basically you can create pages and knock yourself out and do all kinds of things. If we tie it into a kiosk, running it on there, I tie it to the kiosk. Trying to figure out, I've got a meeting with somebody out at Fort Jackson on Friday and trying to figure out if the Army said this is really cool and we need a gazillion copies of it, what a gazillion copies would cost. Yes, sir.
Well, why'd you start this business? In other words, what problem did you identify? So I gotta fix that. Because all we do in sales, all we do is solve problems. So when you said, what is that problem I'm trying to identify? It's like
Tommy, what problem did you say that I gotta fix? So what is it, that problem that you fix?
That's a real good question, and when I started the business back in '05, trying to figure out what to do when I grew up was not exactly something I had clearly defined. Cloud Screen came out of, I was looking for a digital signage product that could be white labeled, so I could put my logo on it and it looked like me. But when I realized, okay, if I could send an email with a link to a digital signage layout to somebody, then it's not tied to something on a wall. Then it could go to 8 billion people. And I thought that could be a cool thing. And I couldn't find anything that could send out a link and was white labeled. So I took the digital signage background, stick a bunch of stuff on screen. Programmers, how can we wrap a web page around it so you can hit a link? And then the one that they really stayed up cussing me a lot at night for a while is, how can I hit a button that will make that automatically or automagically change in front of people's eyes when they're looking at it? So they were able to do it. So again, an engineer answered to a short question, what problem was I trying to solve?
The problem.
I didn't have a particular problem. I developed something and said, this is cool. And like the hiding stuff and showing stuff, I was doing demos and say, hey, now let me show you something else. Let me show you something else. And after I kept using this finger over and over, I thought, wait a minute, this is kind of cool. You can change what you're looking at as often as you want while you're talking. So this finger actually activated my brain and said, that's a good thing about this. And then of course we got into the whole video conferencing thing. It would be great to have video conference built into this. So again, it's not Zoom over here and all this stuff over there. So again, I don't know what problem I'll solve. Lord willing, well, that's what I need y'all's help. What can one MC do? Yeah, I'm a mess. I'm like this all the time. This wasn't rehearsed just for y'all.
I think Jen's first.
Okay, so looking at what you're doing, are you familiar with StreamYard? Because I feel like they have a lot of similarities with what you're doing. And one of the great things is sometimes you can find a product that is similar to you and you are different, but there's a path. Like for instance, with our book series, I found a book series that is very similar to ours on a lot of things, philosophically, all that kind of thing. And they've sold 3 million copies. And so what I did, what I've been doing is I've been looking, I'm like, okay, who is promoting this? Who's doing that? And then like literally I'm contacting these people because I know they're already filtered and they're philosophically aligned. And so are you familiar with StreamYard?
No, but that's another one.
I would really encourage you to look at what they're doing, not to copy it, but to go, okay, how are they talking about their message? How are they communicating their value? Because I feel like sometimes we don't know, like, if we see somebody else doing something similar, then we can go, oh, this is where I need to start. This is who I like. And so finding out, how does this company talk to their people? Because you want to use the language of your audience and you want to use the language of the people that are buying it, because otherwise they don't understand what you're talking about. So I would definitely encourage you to look at StreamYard for inspiration, because there's a lot of similarities in what you're doing and probably a lot of overlap in market. So that might give you a lot more clarity with like what you're trying to do. And then you say, once you get to a base, then you go, this is how we're different, this is how we're better, that type thing. So just encouragement, and definitely look into StreamYard.
Thank you very much. And when I've shown people the cloud screen and then get something out of what I say, because that's always the challenge, is figure out what Jeff's talking about, it winds up being kind of like an ink blot test. They will see it and it looks like StreamYard. It looks like Trello. It looks like Blue Jeans. I've learned a lot about a lot of products because people see cloud screen and it kind of makes them think of something. That's a cool thing. And I look at that something and say, yeah, that ain't us. I can see why they thought that, but here's how we're different. So no, I'm glad I got homework out of this, so that's a good thing. So thank you.
Hey Jeff, two-part question. First, how secure is this, especially dealing with the military and my industry? If it can get hacked easily, it's an automatic no. So what are you doing with security and your encryption to keep people from joining the meeting you don't want to join the meeting?
Well, there's a video password on this. The video conferencing tool we're using is Jitsi, which is an open source product. We tried to embed Zoom, and I'm glad they weren't able to, because Zoom being a Chinese product, we know they've got our best interest at heart, and we can trust them implicitly. So I tell people, even if you don't like Cloud Screen, use Jitsi instead of Zoom, because it ain't Zoom, okay? So, but it's on AWS. I'm trying to remember all the things my programmers tell me, because anytime I ask a question like that, then I might as well explain it to Pixel, because it don't make a lot of sense. But there's all these lines of code to protect it and all of that. I mean, Cloud Screen's kind of like a blank dashboard that you poke holes in and put different things. So if you've got credentials to log into, if we could embed your company's website, your credentials will get you into your account and you're doing your thing there. There's a lot of things I can't embed, bank websites, hospitals. I can't embed youtube.com, but I can embed a Facebook or a YouTube playlist all day long. Can't embed Facebook personal, but I can embed a Facebook business feed. So there's security checks and balances in the whole thing, but yeah, everything that has zeros and ones behind it, somehow somebody's going to figure out how to hack it. But yeah, and then there's going to be the whole military thing, Lord willing, that turns out. A buddy in Tech Beans, Floyd Harper, they've got gee whiz security software that has never been hacked just because of the way they build it, and we're going to use his product when they roll it out kind of as an M&M coating around the candy to protect it one level more. I've explained everything I understand about security right there, so.
Perfect. And then my second part is just kind of more of a suggestion. It's great that it's interactive, but people are kind of like the dog from Up. As soon as they see a squirrel, they're off in that direction. So if you can't take that master control, they're going to be playing with the website and not really paying attention to you if you can't really get that master key.
Right. Yeah, we will get there. It just takes, when we built this whole interactive thing, that wasn't even it'd be cool to be able to do that. It was just put stuff together, put a link on it, and boom, we can have a page. So. But yeah, we'll definitely have to take the shiny object and keep them, but at least it gives them something to stay awake while they're listening to everybody talk, rather than just looking at a shared desktop and then they're off checking the stock market or whatever else that they want to check online.
Hey Jeff, well, it sounds like you have done your homework. Do you know who your competitors are?
Well, from a video conference standpoint, you got the whole shooting match of those. If I was hanging this on a wall behind a computer, that'd be digital signage, and there's 30, Google digital signage and digital signage software, you'll have 30 or 40 that are the best thing since peanut butter, and that's digital signage. So being able to put together a page of information like this and update it before your very eyes, I haven't been able to find anything like that. There's one T1V that's kind of the same. They're one step ahead of me. You can drag stuff on, you can take it off, and that sort of thing. And I'm gonna look at StreamYard.
Okay, a second question then is, have you actually reviewed the IP? You were talking about getting at that. Did you review the IP? Because that would actually answer one of these questions as to who are the competitors in this field, is because of who got those patents assigned. Have you identified any of the IP yet that you're gonna be filing against?
I have not.
We need to talk.
Other homework to do in my spare time, so. That's the great thing about being an entrepreneur. There's never a lack of something you need to do after you get where you're at. So I will never die, because I think there's always going to be something else that I need to figure out about this. So I'm going to be, if you saw the Portrait of Dorian Gray movie way back when. I'm gonna be kind of like him, a raunchy picture in the closet somewhere.
So what can the 1 Million Cups community do for you?
Y'all have been doing, and that's great. And like I said, we need some people that could do commission sales. I need help getting the word out. I need help with explaining what the heck this thing is. So I need an interpreter more than anything. It's tough when you sound like Yoda and think like the guy in A Beautiful Mind. So I don't have imaginary friends. That's the only difference.
Well, thank you, Jeff, for presenting today. You have an awesome project going. I can't wait to see its next reiteration, because every time I see it, it changes a little bit and gets a little cooler. So 1 Million Cups, we are here every Wednesday. So I encourage each of you that are here today and those on Facebook and YouTube and wherever else Jeff streamed it to please share that with your friends. Please email your list of contacts saying, hey, come join me at 1 Million Cups next week here at the library, 9 a.m.
Do you have a speaker? Do you have a speaker for next week?
We do have a speaker, and it is
Building you.
Building You. Letter U. Building You.
And let people know that we've started back, because there was the people that had been coming maybe didn't know that it was here. So just send
So
out
come
a
join
text
us.
message.
Let everybody know that we're here every Wednesday.
Show 'em how.